Hold on, before,
you know how I know that?
Hold on, gentlemen, I'm going to turn this car around. Senator Marco Rubio. Senator Marco Rubio, please weigh in.
On anything I want?
Oh, I thought you had a...
Well, let me talk about poverty.
I thought you had a point.
No, I do. You mentioned
that was me.
And that's something that's important.
I think that was me that had it.
You're in the on-deck circle, sir. Governor Kasich, would you weigh in on... Governor Kasich, please weigh in.
I got to tell you, this is just crazy, huh? This is just nuts, okay? Jeez, oh, man. I'm sorry, John.
Wait, why is it nuts? Talk about it.
As Governor Kasich said, geez, oh, man. Things got pretty intense at the GOP debate last night in South Carolina. How did the moderators do? And what about the audience? They were pretty loud, too. Here to tell us, host of Media Buzz, Howie Kurtz. Great to see you, Howie. Before you get into grading the moderators, the audience, I don't remember audiences participating to this degree in previous debates.
No, and I found it very distracting,
yes.
particularly partisans of Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio. Every time they would have a good line, they would cheer, they would boo the other candidates. You know, in the fall general election debates, the moderators asked the audience to be quiet, and I just thought it became so disruptive that maybe that might have been a good idea here.
Yeah, maybe being quiet's a good policy. So to the moderators, John Dickerson of CBS, formerly of Time Magazine, some say he lost control last night. What do you think?
I'm going to give him an A. I thought he did a good job, particularly a guy who came to television late in life, unlike his mother, the trailblazing CBS correspondent Nancy Dickerson. There were a couple of times when Trump and Cruz were going at it, when Trump and Jeb were going at it, when it threatened to spin out of control. But you don't want to artificially cut that off. What Dickerson did well with his team was to find new angles and new information. I mean, after all, these guys have all been interviewed, 1.5 million times. For instance, when Dickerson asked about, he dug up an old quote from 2008 in which Trump had said, spoken sympathetically of the impeachment of George W. Bush. That led to a fiery exchange between Bush and Trump and was helped push things in a new direction.
Yeah, I mean, you could lose a finger, too, if you got too close to some of those candidates. So Major Garrett used to work here at Fox. His performance?
I give Major Garrett a B+. It was his job to sort of get into the weeds a little bit on policy specifics. For example, was Ted Cruz's flat tax really more of a VAT tax? Thought he did a good job. It was less scintillating television, but it added a nice layer of substance while Dickerson was asking questions that were going to often create some fireworks. Major Garrett drilled down on exactly what these guys are proposing and whether they could defend it.
And finally, Kimberly Strassel of the Wall Street Journal. What do you think?
I give her a B in part because she didn't get many chances. I'm not crazy about the RNC forcing these news organizations to take on a token conservative, but if you're going to put somebody on, give them more of a chance. I think Kim Strassel did provide an important conservative perspective. But sometimes the questions were a little bit wordy, but she had a specific role to play. I thought she did it well. She gets a B.
Now, if you have someone, she's very smart, obviously, but who takes positions on specific candidates on the stage, is that uncomfortable?
Yeah, I think it raises a serious question because she has, in her Wall Street Journal column, been pretty tough on Donald Trump, for example. And this came up with National Review getting kicked out one of the debates after National Review published that whole issue attacking Donald Trump as not being a real conservative, and clearly many of its writers favoring Ted Cruz and others. So, yeah. I'm all for vibrancy of opinion, but when you have moderators up there, they probably ought to be people who have not taken a firm stand for or against the candidates who they are facing right there on that stage, Tucker.
Otherwise, it's pretty easy for the candidates to dismiss them. Howie Kurtz hosts Media Buzz. You'd be insane not to watch it. It's coming up after our show. Great to see you, Howie.
Insane.
You'd be insane. You'd be insane. We're just trying to help here.